Hi everybody, welcome back to Resin Bell. Today I'm going to be doing the first episode of my How to Resin series. I'm going to be releasing some videos showing you how to do the very basics of resin because there's a lot of people that are starting out with resin and have a lot of questions. So these videos are going to be for you. I also want to say thank you so much to all the people that have subscribed recently. My subscriber count has just gone through the roof very quickly, and I want to thank each and every one of you. But without further ado, we're going to get into this video. I'm going to be showing you different ways to color your resin. Okay everybody, today's video is all about color, how to color your resin. So I'm going to be going over some different products that I have used and do use regularly to add color to my resin. I will put some of my very favorites, some links to my favorites in the description box below. You're welcome to check those out. They are affiliate links. I do get a small portion of the sale from those links if you use those to purchase anything, but I will never recommend something that I don't like myself or don't use myself. So you can check those out in the description. So the first thing I think we should talk about is mica powders. So mica powders are these shiny, usually shiny. Sometimes they're a matte finish, but a lot of times they'll have like a pearlescent type of, yeah, be careful with your mica powders. They're very, so you can see this has kind of a iridescent sheen to it. I picked this one up on Amazon, and this one is called Original Stationery Candy Floss Mica Powder. This one's okay. I don't love this one, but it's okay. I mean, it's very pearly. It just doesn't have a lot of pigment. So when you're choosing a mica powder, you need to be looking at the reviews and stuff to see if anybody has said anything about, you know, how bright the colors are. Sometimes it'll just give you the faintest hint of color and more pearlescent than pigment. So you just gotta have to watch out for that. So that's one kind. There's so many different kinds of mica powders out there. These are by Acrylic Pigments. These came in a huge package of like 24, I think, different colors. These are really great. They have a good strong pigment so that they'll really color your resin good. So these are really good ones as well. I think you just basically you mix up your clear resin and then you'll scoop some out and put it in your resin and mix it up, and then you just keep adding it until you get the color that you want. You can mix powders to create different colors as well. These are called Marbler's Colorant. You get a giant 3-ounce bag of these. I absolutely love the Marbler's Colorant. That's a tongue twister for me. But these, in my experience, these have some really amazing color to them, and they have just these little flecks of sparkle to them, just like not glitter, but okay, cats. So these give you some really good sparkle, not glittery sparkle, but just a kind of like a nice little shine to them. So definitely check these out. These are really cool, especially this one. This is called Blue Black Pearl, and it has the most luscious kind of black glittery, blue glittery kind of shine to it. So this is really cool. I definitely recommend the Marblers, and they are cheaper per ounce than any other pigment that I've found so far. So I will be linking the Marblers below because they are really amazing. Another way you can get your mica powder. Mica powder is the same thing as eyeshadow. So if you have some old eyeshadow you want to get rid of or use, eyeshadows are great. Especially if you find some that are like super metallic, you can put these on a cotton swab and rub it inside of your mold, and then pour your resin, your clear resin or colored resin, and then it'll give the outside of your resin piece a little bit of a shine in the different colors. So that's a cool way to do that. More eyeshadow. I pick up these little I think they're called LA Colors eyeshadow pots at Dollar Tree. So that's a good way to get them. But they come in these little tubes, and I just peel the bottom of them off and then pour them into these little trays. And they don't have a whole lot of colors. They have white, a purple color, kind of a gold color, a pink color, and then there's like a couple of different shades of brown, I think. So those are a good way to try out some mica powder without spending a lot of money. And they do give a pretty good color, so I like to have those. Okay, so the next thing, so we've covered the mica powders. You can get those at like Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Walmart. You can get mica powders, eyeshadows, those kind of things, pretty much anywhere you look. So the other thing you can add to your resin to color it is acrylic paint. A lot of people don't think you can add acrylic paint. You can. You have to be careful about how much you add, because if you add too much acrylic paint, it can cause problems with your resin curing properly, or taking a really long time to cure, or being too bendy, or, never fully curing correctly. So you just have to add a little bit at a time and kind of get that feel, kind of play with it and decide on your own just how much you should add for how much resin. It's just something that you kind of pick up over time. You'll kind of get that pretty quickly. Other kinds of paints, you can definitely experiment and try adding some different things. I've seen people add some nail polish to their resin, and it looks pretty cool. So it's really up to you. You can do some experimenting and try different things for your resin. A lot of things will work that you don't think they will, like food coloring, stuff like that. You can try all kinds of different things in your resin. So the next thing is liquid pigment dyes. You can get the liquid pigment dyes like on Amazon, AliExpress, Sophie and Toffee is where these came from. A lot of different kinds, and different ones will give you different results. There are pigment dyes that are made to create a clear look to your resin. So you would have like a blue resin, but it would be kind of see-through like water. Some are more opaque so that you can't see through them. They're more like kind of like if you were to add acrylic paint. So you just kind of have to do your research and look for those, read the descriptions on what you're buying, and then do some research before you buy it. You can kind of do a Google search on the name and exactly what they have the dye labeled as, and see if anybody else has any kind of reviews or reactions to that. And that's a good way to color your resin as well. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about is glitter. Glitter is a great way to color your resin. Excuse me. The chunkier your glitter, the bigger it is. It's like this would be chunky. This would be super fine. This is extra fine glitter. The chunky stuff will sink to the bottom, which is actually when you demold it, is the top of your resin piece. A lot of times people will get frustrated because like they'll have like a clear layer, and then all the glitter will be down at the bottom on the thickness of their resin. The reason for that is because the glitter is too heavy and it's going to sink down through the resin before it cures. If you want your glitter to be more evenly dispersed, you can wait a little bit before adding your glitter, or you can let your resin cure a little bit and then give it like a final stir after the glitter is already in it. That'll kind of help lift it, and once it gets to a certain point in its curing process, it'll be thicker, and so that the glitter can't sink through. But it's kind of a tricky thing. It's just one of those things you have to experiment with. You can use any kind of glitter you want. If you're wanting something to be super glittery and you don't want that line, of the clear, half of it's regular resin and then the bottom half has all the glitter in it, then you add a ton of glitter. This is one example. This one I added so much glitter and so you can see on this side there wasn't as much. So you can see that there was some glitter floating on the top, and then there's an area here where there's no glitter, and then there's a whole bunch of glitter on the bottom. So the way that you get away from that is just you add a ton of glitter, and it's just so glitter packed that it has filled up that whole space. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. But the finer your glitter is, if you get something that is super extra fine and super fine, extra fine glitter, it's going to stay kind of floating throughout the entire resin piece. So that's just another thing that you just kind of have to play with, and you'll get a feel for it, you know, over time, which glitters will work. This is a kind of like a, it's not really a glitter, it's a, it's like shredded up cellophane, like an iridescent cellophane. And people can get that, you can get that like in party supplies and stuff. That stuff makes some really pretty sparkly look, and it's kind of chunky and it's really lightweight, so it works really well in resin, so that's a good thing to get. I'm a kind of a fan of the Glitter Hippo glitters. They have so many different colors and weights. They have like the extra fines, and then they have chunky ones that have like little fine bits in them, so those are pretty cool too. You can get glitters at Walmart, craft stores. This one came from Joann's. Just, you can put any kind of glitter or sequins or beads or anything like that in your resin to color it. You just have to be mindful that, you know, heavier glitters will sink to the bottom. And so I think for right now, that is pretty much it. I will be adding more videos very soon, covering different topics such as troubleshooting your resin and how to mix resin and pour it and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. This is just the first episode in the series, and I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!